and this is the Auto-Vox Solar3A Plus. Now this is a wireless backup camera, so no need to run cables through the front of the vehicle. It literally just bolts up to any front license plate or rear license plate or anywhere else you want with the included adhesive tape. And on this video, I'm gonna walk you through its features as well as show you what the video quality of this looks like both a day and a night. That way you can decide if this is the right system for you. As always, I'd like to remind you that I place a link in the description down below to this camera in case you'd like to get one for yourself. Now this could potentially be mounted right here if there was enough clearance. Most vehicles do, and I actually had this mounted on here before, the prior model, but now I have this little bracket, so now it no longer fits on here. However, that is the advantage of the system, that I can also mount it down here. And they also have included this high-strength double-sided tape that will be applied on the back if I wanted to mount this on a location that did not have screw holes. And as far as mounting the monitor, there is double-sided tape on the base. I'm gonna peel this back and I can place this on a clean surface. The monitor base also allows me to turn the screen either left to right, up or down to adjust its position. And for power, they have included this automotive adapter, which does have an extra USB port on the back and also a button right here, and I'll show you what this is for in a little bit. So the first thing that I want to show you is that this actually turns on automatically every time the vehicle is turned on, and as you can see, it automatically connected to the rear camera and shows us that rear view. I'm gonna go ahead and put the car on reverse so we can see what that view looks like. And it's actually quite smooth. And I don't really feel any kind of lag. Now this is a wireless signal, so anything that's wireless inherently is gonna be slower than anything that is wired. But at this point, the technology for wireless connection has made it pretty much that it's almost impossible to tell now if something is connected directly or if the signal is wireless. So this to me feels like just like the OEM camera on my vehicle. As far as when I stop, I see the image stop, and then when I start moving, I can see that the image start moving. So there's definitely good response time in the monitor. The other thing I want to talk about is the reverse guidelines. Some people use them, some people don't. I like to keep them on because they give me a reference to the things that are near my vehicle. Now the center button right here, if I hold that button down, eventually these lines are gonna flash. And now I can use either the up or down button, and I can adjust the position of those guidelines in 6 different presets. So you can see that's number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, and number 6. Now for my particular vehicle, this is the one that I like. Now let's also try the bottom button. That button right there is gonna switch to the second camera, and that is because the system supports a second channel. Now it can display that channel in full view. Obviously, I only have one camera, so I see black. Or if I wanna have a split screen, I can have a split screen and have channel 1 and channel 2 show at the same time. Convenient if you were looking to have 2 cameras, perhaps one's in the back of the vehicle and another one in the front. But now let's go into the settings menu, which is the center button. And the very first option is gonna be to pair an additional camera. The second option is gonna be adjustment of brightness and contrast, and I can enter by hitting the menu button one more time, and then I can use the up or down button to adjust the brightness. Now I find personally that for me, it looks best in the middle, but you could decrease that in case it bothered you at night. But let's go back into that menu, and I'm gonna go inside of the third option now, which is gonna be image control. And I'm gonna again select that with the menu option. And you can see that we have an adjustment here to show the camera in a mirror view or in a normal view. Now, because this camera is positioned on the back of the vehicle and I wanted to simulate a mirror, I'm gonna select it as mirror. Now, if this camera was placed in the front of the vehicle, it is likely that normal will work best. Again, because this is a backup camera, I'm gonna use it in the mirror setting. Going back into that menu one more time, let's take a look at reversing time. Now remember, the rear camera is battery power, so it's not gonna stay on all the time. And here you can select for how long you want the rear camera to stay on, basically the display to stay on along with it, either 60 seconds, which is a minute, 90 seconds, which is a minute and a half, or 120 seconds, which is basically 2 minutes. Now, this is gonna really depend on how much time you wanna have it on. Basically, how much time does it take you to use it and back out of whatever you're using it for reversing purposes. Normally, I would say 90 seconds is gonna be probably enough for most people, but I personally like to leave mine on 120 seconds. It's just nice to know that this is gonna stay on for 2 minutes and before it times out. Now, when it times out, I can bring it back again by tapping that button that I showed you on the automotive adapter. Tapping that button automatically brings it up again and again, gives me additional time, which in my case, because I left it at 2 minutes, is gonna give me 2 more minutes of usage. And let's go back into that menu one last time. I'm gonna go down to the guideline option. And here's where you can turn off the reverse guidelines. Now this would be convenient for anybody that's mounting the camera in the front of the vehicle and may not necessarily need reversing guidelines, or for people who are looking just for a clean view of the rear of the car without the reverse guidelines. But now that I've shown you what this video looks like during the day, let's take a look at night. That way we can compare its performance against how it looks during the day. And here's what the system looks like at night. Now this particular street that I'm on has only one light, and it's actually quite dark, but the system has some level of night vision where it makes the image look a little brighter than what it really is, because as you can see, it is dark. Now I'm gonna step on the brake here, and you can see the brake lights there, and now when I switch to reverse, you see my reversing lights come on. Now this is a normal vehicle, and notice how bright the reversing lights look, again because of the night vision capability of the system is basically making any available light even brighter. That way we can use this at night. I'm gonna try to get close to this vehicle here. That is actually pretty impressive. Now, some systems do have infrared night vision to see in complete darkness, but the disadvantage of that is that you end up with basically an image that can look either black or white, or may not have a lot of color. So I like this full color night vision system. Let's also talk about the battery life of the unit and the solar charging capability. Now this should be fully charged before installing it on the vehicle. There is a little dust cover on the side, and that reveals a standard USB port which can be used to charge this, and there's a little indicator light on there telling us when this is fully charged. Now assuming that this is fully charged and you have optimal sunlight, basically a sunny day every day, and you are using this 3 times a day, Auto-Vox rates the duration of the battery as being 150 days, which is roughly about 5 months, which is kind of impressive if you think about it, because that means that you could potentially only have to fully charge this battery twice a year. Now, assuming that you don't have a ton of sunlight, that you have a lot of rainy and overcast days, that's where Auto-Vox is gonna rate this conservatively at 110 days of duration if you're not getting enough sunlight to the solar panel. So that means it's not topping off as often, but 110 days, that's still quite a bit. That's about 3.5 months. So you could potentially be looking at having to fully charge this via that port only about 3 to 4 times a year. And when you think about the amount of work that goes into installing a camera, that you have to run a cable, that is actually not too bad. Sometimes some of the backup camera systems that I have reviewed actually require 2 cables to be run, one from the camera all the way to the monitor, but also an additional cable from the camera to somewhere in the vehicle for power. So that can make a complicated installation and potentially even have to drill a hole into the vehicle to get the cable to come out. Here, there's none of that involved. It's literally just screw this in and you are good to go. And talking about mounting this to the vehicle, we know that we can use the high-strength double-sided tape to mount this pretty much anywhere we want, but I think realistically most people are gonna be mounting this using the existing bolts of the license plate. And here's where you may start to wonder if it's just held on with those bolts. Can somebody just literally come over, take those bolts off and take the backup camera? And the answer is yeah, that is very possible. Now I had the prior model to this, the Solar 1 Pro, and it was bolted onto my vehicle. Nobody ever messed with it, but you just never know. So as you may have noticed, when I took off the bolts of the license plate on my vehicle to install this one, those bolts are not normal bolts. They're actually security screws. So if you want to add a little bit of extra security to this, and nobody takes this from you, you might want to consider getting those security screws. And I'll put a link to those in the description down below in case you want to get those. Now, the last two things that I want to talk about is the range. Now, this particular system I think is going to be better suited for vehicles that are not full-size semi-trailers. I think this is going to be better suited for standard automobiles, SUVs, trucks, and that is because the range of this is about 40 feet, which is about 12 meters. And if you think about 40 feet, you normally don't want to push a system to its maximum distance. So I think, again, this is going to work out well for vehicles like trucks, SUVs, but if you have like a semi, something super massively long, this system may not be the best solution for you. So remember, I place a link in the description down below to this little guy in case you need to get one. And if you guys have any other questions regarding this, please put that in the comments down below. If you found any part of this video helpful, make sure you hit the like button to support the channel and stay tuned as I have a lot more backup systems reviews for you coming up. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, I'll see you on the next one.